Good evening, my dear friend. As the day's light fades and the city settles into its nighttime rhythm, I find myself eager to share the extraordinary events of the past few days with you. Can you believe it's already been a month since you embarked on your new adventure? Time seems to flow differently now. Some days crawling by as I miss our chats, others flying past in a whirlwind of activity. I often wonder what your days are like out there on the ice. Do you lose track of time in the endless Antarctic nights? Or does each moment feel stretched out, filled with the weight of scientific discovery? Here, I find myself constantly checking the clock, wondering what it is like in that vast white wilderness. And if you might be taking a rare break from your work right when I'm recording these messages. It's strange how quickly we adapt to new routines, isn't it? This nightly ritual of speaking into my laptop has become a comfort, a way to feel connected to you across the vast distance. I like to imagine my words travelling over oceans and continents, finally reaching you in your sanctuary from Antarctica's unforgiving embrace, bringing a piece of home to that remote corner of the world. While you're out there exploring new windswept frontiers of ice and snow, I've been creating a little world right here on my balcony. Do you remember our conversation about urban biodiversity? The one where you spoke so passionately about the importance of green spaces in cities? Well, I've taken it to heart in ways I never expected. It started innocently enough with a few potted herbs and flowers. But you know me. Once an idea takes root, it tends to grow wild. Much like the mint that's now threatening to overtake my entire herb section. Before I knew it, my modest balcony transformed into what I'm calling a micro-ecosystem. I can almost hear your laughter at my grand title for such a small space. I've been experimenting with companion planting, trying to create a balanced environment. It's fascinating how certain plants seem to thrive in each other's company, like old friends reunited. The fragrant basil beside the tomatoes, the marigolds protecting the vegetables from pests. There's a beautiful synergy at play. I find myself lost in thought, fingers gently caressing the leaves as I ponder the intricate relationships in this tiny botanical world. The addition of a small solar fountain has been transformative. Its gentle burble provides a soothing backdrop, making my fourth-floor balcony feel like a secluded glade high above the bustling streets. In the early mornings, I've taken to sitting out here with my tea, watching the city wake up as the first light filters through the leaves. It's become my favourite way to start the day. But here's where things took an unexpected turn. 2 days ago, I noticed a pair of finches showing interest in my little oasis. By yesterday afternoon, they were building a nest in the dense foliage of the climbing jasmine. I feel like a proud parent-to-be. I've caught myself whispering encouragement to them as they work, probably looking quite mad to any passers-by. But there's something magical about being chosen as a safe haven for new life. Last evening, as twilight painted the sky in hues of lavender and gold, I noticed movement on the balcony next door, the apartment that's been empty for months. There was a woman there, tending to an array of plants I'd never seen before. I hesitated for a moment, then softly called out a greeting, my fingers nervously tracing the leaves of my basil plant as I spoke. She introduced herself as Amara, staying temporarily while doing research in the city. Her accent was hard to place, melodic and soothing, like a gentle stream over river stones. As we chatted, leaning against our respective railings, I couldn't help but be drawn in by her extensive knowledge of plants. She spoke of herbs I'd never heard of, and flowers that only bloom under moonlight, her eyes sparkling with an inner light that reminded me of starlight on water. Amara's balcony was a riot of colours and scents, making mine look almost ordinary in comparison. She had a way of describing plants that made them sound almost sentient. Each has its own personality, she said, gently touching a leaf with a reverence that resonated deeply with me. You just need to learn how to listen. As she spoke, I found myself leaning in, completely captivated. The city sounds faded away, and it felt as if we were in our own little world, suspended in time and space. I peppered her with questions, my natural curiosity overriding my usual reserve. Amara answered each one with patience and wisdom that seemed to extend far beyond botanical knowledge. The curious part of this story is that this morning, I woke to find a small terracotta pot outside my door containing a plant I didn't recognize. Its leaves were a deep, iridescent purple that seemed to shift in the light, reminding me of the night sky. The note attached simply said, "For harmony, A." With careful hands, I added it to my balcony, curious to see how it would affect my little ecosystem. The effect was almost immediate and utterly breathtaking. The finches suddenly seemed more active, flitting around the new addition with excited chirps. Even my struggling succulents perked up, their leaves looking plumper and more vibrant. There's a new energy to my balcony garden now, a vibrancy that I can't quite explain, but can certainly feel. It's as if Amara's gift has woven all the separate elements into a harmonious whole. As twilight settled in this evening, I noticed something extraordinary. Tiny points of light, almost like fireflies, seemed to dance among my plants. I blinked, rubbing my eyes in disbelief, and they were gone. Heart racing with excitement, I looked over to Amara's balcony to see if she'd noticed, only to be stunned into silence. The balcony was empty. No plants, no furniture. Nothing to indicate anyone had been there at all. It was as if Amara and her magical garden had been a shared dream we'd all woken from. I'm left wondering if I imagined the whole encounter. But the mysterious plant remains, thriving among my other greenery, its leaves gently swaying in the evening breeze, as if whispering secrets. The finches are roosting peacefully in their nest, and there's a sense of balance and harmony in my little ecosystem that I hadn't felt before. As I sit here now, watching the city lights twinkle like earthbound stars, I find myself in awe of life's capricious meanderings. This little balcony project has opened my eyes to a world of wonder right outside my window. It's a reminder that magic doesn't always announce itself with fanfare. Sometimes it sneaks in on a warm summer evening, disguised as a knowledgeable stranger with plants that shimmer in the moonlight. I'm filled with excitement to see how this micro-ecosystem continues to evolve. Will the finch's eggs hatch? Will I ever see Amara again or learn the true nature of her gift? And how has this experience changed my perspective on the hidden magic in everyday life? I can't wait to share this little slice of urban wilderness with you when you return. Until then, I hope your own adventure is filled with as much mystery and wonder as my balcony garden has brought me. Perhaps you'll discover your own version of Amara, a guide to the hidden marvels of the world. Sweet dreams, my dear friend. May your night be as enchanting as a moonlit garden, and your dreams as vast as the sky above my little balcony jungle. And who knows? Perhaps somewhere out there, you'll feel the echo of the harmony that now sings softly from my tiny urban oasis. Good night.